Hello, Eagle, Rachel, anyone who's there? I am Paul Carbuncle, in the kitchen, in my slippers, on a Saturday afternoon, punk for the homeless. That's 2020 for you. Let's start with one that Eagle likes. Well, everyone likes. Beautiful song. Only 4 chords. Tom Paynes Bones. As I dreamed out one evening by a river of discontent, I bumped right into old Tom Payne. As a running down the road he went. He said, I can't stop right now, my son. King George is after me. He'll have a rope around my throat and hang me on the Liberty Tree. Well, I danced to Tom Paynes Bones, danced to Tom Paynes Bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Paynes Bones. He said, I just wrote about freedom and justice for everyone. Ever since the very first words I spoke, I've been looking down the barrel of a gun. Well, they said I preach revolution. Let me say in my defence that all I did wherever I went was talk a lot of common sense. Now I dance to Tom Paynes Bones, dance to Tom Paynes Bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Paynes Bones. He runs so fast, he left me standing still. There I was, a piece of paper in my hand, standing at the top of the hill. He said, this is the age of reason, and these are the rights of man. Kick off religion and monarchy, it was written there in Tom Payne's plan. Well, I danced to Tom Payne's Bones, danced to Tom Payne's Bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's Bones. Oh, old Tom Payne, there he lies. Nobody laughs and nobody cries. Where he's gone or how he fares, nobody knows and nobody cares. But I will dance to Tom Payne's Bones, dance to Tom Payne's Bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's Bones. And I dance to Tom Payne's Bones, dance to Tom Payne's Bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's Bones. And I dance to Tom Payne's Bones, dance to Tom Payne's Bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Payne's Bones. Cheers. I presume you're all clapping and heckling and whooping. Right then, they're front pages. This is a song written for my daily express reading parents. Didn't have any effect at all. What's the latest front page lie? What packs a tabloid punch? 700,000 foreign kids are claiming free school lunch. They'll demonise the weak and poor. There's no empathy, there's no shame. And when they call this austerity, it's a cull by another name. Let's have Princess Di and Maddie stories from your wretched servile hacks. And never mind the food banks, never mind the bedroom tax. They'll means test this, they'll means test that, and then reject your claim. Cause when they call this austerity, it's a cull by another name. Give us Rule Britannia headlines, then call us lazy shirkers. Blame Europe, blame the unions, and let's blame the migrant workers. Make the old and sick jump through endless hoops in a hopeless twisted game. Cause when they call this austerity, it's a cull by another name. And when they call this austerity, it's a cull by another name. Only 4 chords, but still getting in the wrong order. Right, I've sort of got a set list here, which includes The Lord Giveth and The Landlord Taketh Away by Scott Cook. go. Well, there's a fine line between making ends meet and sleeping in the rain. Kicked out and wishing you could get back on that 7:30 train. Feels like the screw keeps tightening every single day. While the Lord giveth and the landlord taketh away. Well, they'll sell you a dream, lend you the money for a house. And it don't matter if you can't make the payments when all the jobs head south. You see, they bet on both sides, so they win either way. And that's how the Lord giveth and the landlord taketh away. And we just hang around drinking coffee from a paper cup. Well, they say it'll trickle down, but it just keeps trickling up. And your first hit's free, but after that you've got to pay. And that's how the Lord giveth and the landlord taketh away. Well, they say there's a crisis that every telly's talking about. How the same folk who got us into this need us to bail them out. It seems when you're too big to fail, it means you're too big to pay. Ain't it clever how the Lord giveth and the landlord taketh away? Well, big men got big plans, and big plans only expand. They've got no friends, only interests. Little men are pawns in their hands. And they'll send us to fight for reasons that aren't what they say. Poor boys, don't you know the Lord giveth and the landlord taketh away. And we just hang around drinking coffee from a paper cup. Well, they say it'll trickle down, yeah, but it just keeps trickling up. And everybody takes a cut while the newspapers look the other way. And that's how the Lord giveth and the landlord taketh away. Yeah, that's how the Lord giveth and the landlord taketh away. Right then, my list pretty much runs out now. Only 20 minutes more. I know again, that pause was to give Eagle time to heckle. Right, this one's called The Poor Man Pays for All. The words were published in 1620. Nothing much changes in 400 years. And this is the first time I'm trying it as a sort of spoken thing, so apologies if it doesn't work. As I lay musing all alone upon my resting bed, full many a cogitation did come into my head. And waking from my slumber, my dream I did recall. Methought I saw before my eyes how the poor man pays for all. Methought I saw how wealthy men did grind the poor men's faces and greedily did prey on them, not pitying their cases. They make them toil and labour sore for wages too small. The rich men in the tavern roar, but the poor man pays for all. 'Tis the weakest to the wall, and the poor man pays for all. And the poor man, the poor man pays for all. Methought me in the countryside where poor men take great pains and labour hard continually, only for rich men's gains. Like the Israelites in Egypt, the poor are kept in thrall. The taskmasters keep playing while the poor man pays for all. Methought I saw two lawyers and one to the other say, we've had in hand this poor man's case a 12-month and a day, and yet we'll not contented be to let the matter fall. Bear thou with me and I'll bear with thee, while the poor man pays for all. 'Tis the weakest to the wall, and the poor man pays for all. And the poor man, the poor man pays for all. I saw a red-nosed host as fat as he could wallow, who whose carcass, if it should be roast, would drop 10 stone of tallow. He grows rich out of measure, with filling measure small, and he lives in mirth and pleasure, while the poor man pays for all. And so likewise the brewer stout, the chandler and the baker, the malt man also without doubt, and the tobacco taker, though they be proud and stately grown and bear themselves so tall, yet to the world it is well known, the poor man pays for all. 'Tis the weakest to the wall, and the poor man pays for all. And the poor man, and the poor man pays for all. And that's that. Right, from 400 years to 40 years. Blimey, even so, like 40 years. Stubbing out progress where seeds are sown, killing off anything that's not quite known, sitting around in a nice safe home, waiting for the witch hunt. Idle plans for the idle rich, knitting the economy, not dropping a stitch, destroying anything that doesn't quite fit, waiting for the witch hunt. Still living with the English fear, waiting for the witch hunt, dear. Still living with the English fear, waiting for the witch hunt, dear. Changing your course for another way, you better stop that or be willing to pay. Never mind son, you come around someday, under pressure from the witch hunt. Stubbing out progress where seeds are sown, killing off anything that's not quite known, sitting around in a nice safe home, waiting for the witch hunt. Still living with the English fear, waiting for the witch hunt, dear. Still living with the English fear, waiting for the witch hunt, dear. Still living with the English fear, waiting for the witch hunt, dear. Always living with the English fear, waiting for the witch hunt. There you go. Right, this one is one that I wrote last year with the title provided by the Home Office, bless them. Deport first and hear appeals later. You'll recognise the tune from school assembly, if nothing else. Land of ungratefulness, land of misrule, whose voice is resentment, whose actions are cruel, whose policy is to traumatise, whose enemy is hope. It's a hostile environment and a slippery slope. Kamal dreams of living in his daddy's house in Brum, but he's locked up in Yarlswood with his sister and mum. Oh, we recognise it's desirable to reunite kith and kin, but it's a hostile environment and you ain't coming in. Nicolette has run her cafe since 1994. Now if she can't find a pile of paperwork, they'll show her the door. Yeah, we know you paid your tax all these 25 years, but it's a hostile environment, so what's with the tears? Cherry last saw Trinidad when she was just 5. In her 70s now she sees her prison van arrive. As you appear to have no passport, let us make you aware that it's a hostile environment and your home is back there. Land of ungratefulness, land of misrule, whose voice is resentment, whose actions are cruel, whose policy is to traumatise, whose enemy is hope. It's a hostile environment and a slippery slope. to get some of these folk songs out of my system. So, build up. Right then, this one's about squirrels for Rachel, who has provided me with the answer in book form. They don't come round here no more. This was written by my brother, Steve Carbuncle. I think he made it up. Oh, what are the chords? There they go. They're the same as rivers of blood. There you are. I used to be a gardener and save all that I earned. I'd weed and rake and dig and other things of which I learned. But I detected mischief every time my back was turned. Sneaky little creatures scurry up and down a tree. The squirrels are hiding things from me. A blur of fur, they flit and fuss. The squirrels are hiding things from us. Find the stony ground harsh and unforgiving. It's not all goats and glamour digging holes to earn a living. Daily facing tricks and traps and other such mischieving. Sneaky little creatures scurry up and down a tree. The squirrels are hiding things from me. A blur of fur, they flit and fuss. The squirrels are hiding things from us. They wind up the magpie and startle the thrush. The brave little robin, he just sit and watch. Their eyes terrorise and their tails compare. Why catch me a squirrel, catch me a squirrel, catch me a squirrel if they just sit still. Hey! Woo! Eek. Now everywhere I go I'm seeing squirrels colour grey. I don't see any red ones because they've ridden them away. To anyone who passes by now, this is what I say. Sneaky little creatures scurry up and down a tree. The squirrels are hiding things from me. A blur of fur, they flit and fuss. The squirrels are hiding things from us. Well, now I am retired and my money is all spent. I think about my life and I wonder where it went. At night I hear them plotting through the canvas of my tent. Sneaky little creatures scurry up and down a tree. The squirrels are hiding things from me. A blur of fur, they flit and fuss. The squirrels are hiding things from us. A blur of fur, they flit and fuss. The squirrels are hiding things from us. Be warned. Alright, I've done all the ones that I wrote on a bit of paper, so that might mean that my half hour's up, I'm not quite sure. I'll do one more in case, and then if it's too many, Eagle can chop it off, can't he? Right then, if there's time for it, here's a Leonard Cohen song. I understand if this one doesn't make the cut. It's from his underappreciated status quo phase. I asked my father, I said, Father, change my name. The one I'm using now is covered up with fear and filth and cowardice and shame. Yes, a lover, 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 come back to me. Yes, a lover, 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 come back to me. He said, I locked you in this body, I meant it as a kind of trial. You may use it as a weapon, but it makes somebody smile. Yes, a lover, 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 come back to me. Yes, a lover, 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 come back to me. Then let me start again, I cried. Please let me start again. I want a face that's fair this time. I want a spirit that is calm. Yes, and lover, 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 come back to me. Yes, and lover, 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 come back to me. I never turned aside, he said. I never walked away. It was you who built the temple. It was you who covered up my face. Yes, and lover, 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 come back to me. Yes, and lover, 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 come back to me. And may the spirit of this song, may it rise up pure and free. May it be a shield for you, a shield against the enemy. Yes, and lover, 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 come back to me. Yes, and lover, 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 come back to me. Cheers all. Thank you, Punk for the Homeless. Please put money in the pot and see you all soon. Toodaloo.